Yes, people, big up. If you're just coming from Rance's channel or whoever's channel, or you're just a subscriber here because you don't watch Rants or you just didn't catch that live, big up to yourselves. Make sure you smash the likes, all that good stuff. I'm pretty much here to have a little rant-ish in a way. We got Kvaratskhelia. You saw all of that news. We didn't even get, what the maddest thing is? We didn't really get touched on that with rants because obviously it's gone in many directions. Arsenal, this target, that target, left wing back. It was a bit of like just a bit of everything in one. But I'm here to talk about like what we're really missing as well. Rashford. And pretty much is I don't know, and I'm not even going to talk about the Arsenal game more time. It's just more of the fact that I've got a bit of PTSD with Man United, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has a bit of PTSD with Manchester United as well. Because for me, it's just how many times do we? I know it's different ownership, and I'm more for the ownership at the moment because I don't subscribe to just ranting and raving against whoever just for the sake of it because I've got nothing better to do, and I need to direct my anger at a certain institution that has not even been given time yet to establish themselves if they're garbage or not. Do you know what I mean? But for me, it's more like when you get hyped up as a United fan, do you know what I mean? When you get hyped up and you think you're going to go and do X and Y and Z or whatever, and we leave it way too late. That's my whole PTSD with Man United. Nothing more, nothing less. Leaving things too late or letting this Rashford thing drag, letting this Casemiro thing drag a little bit as well. It's just, and you know what? I hope we do have some targets, and I do hope there's some secret targets in there as well. Because it's true, United's list come out for left wing backs. And you know what? I don't really want to subscribe to the whole listening to journals. I'm not really familiar with in terms of that's my go-to news. But for me, it's more along the lines of, you're not getting Kirkes, right? Nuno Mendes, we're not getting him either this summer, this just January either. And then obviously the whole point is the Alvaro stuff. And I think I see an Alvaro quote just a minute ago because someone made me type it up and say like his whole idea is to make it back to Manchester United one day. But I don't know if that's just a comment of sentiment towards United because he was here for our academy for a few years, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wonder like, is there any other targets that we don't know of? Is it just because we've been briefed with certain targets like Dorgu, that's who we're fixated on, rather than there's another option? There must be a few options, maybe. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm here to talk about Kvaratskhelia, and I just feel like this is just a. Oh, let me go through the comments, anyways, because you know what? It's like when there's an opportunity that arises like this, and you can't secure it because you're in a certain way. It's a howler that we can't even go and get someone that's available. That's a mad opportunity because you're that broke. Yeah. Big up Israel. Big up Cash, bro. It's been 10 days and Man United still haven't made a sign-in. Also, how much money do we need to offer Napoli for Cavaradonna? We also need a centre mid in case Casse goes. Who do you want? See, this is my whole thing. I know we saw that Rashford and the whole Napoli thing. I don't believe that's going to be a scenario for Conte at the moment. I don't think he needs him either. But then you think of a like-for-like kind of player. Like, if you want someone that's a little bit more direct off the left, you probably would think Rashford. But this whole swap deals just don't happen. One player goes one way and then back to the other. You call it a swap potentially, but I don't see that ever a piece. But it's just, I know that they said that they want 80 million euros. Do we have the facilities for that? No. We're talking about 68, 70 million pounds. We at the moment we're because of wages, by the way. Because if wages weren't on the book, if Rashford signed, let's say, a 200k deal all of a sudden, his value goes right up like to 40, 45 million. Someone else could pay that. Then maybe you could use that as leverage to go and get like a Kvaratskhelia or something like that, he's ideal. You couldn't tell me. I don't think anyone, maybe Bar Cunha, that's a more ideal left 10, better option than that guy. He's perfect. Honestly, he's perfect. And we can't even go and get something as cheap as 68 million. In January, by the way, in January. That's the key word, in January. It's not anyone's price is going to be fixated, but they're trying to get rid. This guy was quoted at like 150 million at one point. 110 million, 125 million, the Osman stuff. And now he's worth 68 million. And you're seeing that Liverpool, Chelsea are interested. So they're biding their time. Napoli want Chiesa as well, and it's already said it's irrespective of if they want Chiesa or not. You know, Liverpool still are interested regardless. They're looking at opportunities. Talking about someone that can play in the top two. You know, if he goes Liverpool, I'm gonna be absolutely fucked off. I'm gonna be pissed off differently. That is not allowed to happen. If you're telling me that Liverpool end up getting rid of, let's say, Nunes or Luis Diaz in future, and they're going to plan for now because the opportunity arises, Mo Salah leaves and they go get Kudus. You're telling me they got Kudus, a potential whatever striker, let's say, I don't know, Gakpo or whatever, who's thriving for them at the moment, and then they go get Kvaratskhelia. It's like, are you insane? They've just revitalized the whole. You can't even allow it. I've done a video on it. It's just not happening. A big up Tariq as well. It says, Casper, brother, why you have my play in your stream title? Is your club even in talks with him? Do you know what I mean? Like Tariq, respectfully, yeah, that's like me saying, I'm interested in your missus. Does that mean she's my missus? No. At the moment, who's trying to get your missus to cheat? It's the guy that's got all the bread at the moment and has got all the luxury to give him, trying to give him quadruple or trying to give her 4 times as much as what you can give her. That's the guy in the background. He's been watching. He's been waiting. That's PSG. So yeah, big up, Dams. Is it Diams? Big up Rap Heaven as well. Haven, sorry, Lucian. Big up Brian. ZL as always. That's my guy. Like, I'm Paddy. Kev as well. Big up, man. Mabo. Is it Maboe or Mabo? I'll ask you this before. I feel so disrespectful, man. But big up and smash the likes. Lego as well. Or I think that's how you say it. Glow. Crypto. Cavra's going to PSG. It's looking like it at the moment. Bro, Cavra is generally one of the best in the world. I agree. And you know what this fan base likes to do as well, yeah, which is it kind of just gets on my nerves, is it's like I saw a post yesterday. You know them player FC accounts, right? Like I saw, oh my god, like Liverpool. Liverpool, right? They got like a Darwin Nunes one, and they're going for they say, oh my god, I could have a front three of Mo Salah, Kvaratskhelia, and Darwin Nunes. You're like, what? What? And then with the United account, I quoted it yesterday. They're trying to compare the GA or Rashford and Kvaratskhelia. The difference is Kvaratskhelia is not measured on GA, right? That's not his measurement. He is a playmaker, or you could even say an old school wide midfielder, right? Rashford's metric is goals. That's his metric, and he sucks at that metric. Kvaratskhelia offers so much more to the team. Technically sound. He's very, very direct, very fast, and his IQ levels are top levels. You know what I mean? He's sometimes the pass before the pass. The one that sets it off even. Can't say this guy is, you can't put them together. It's impossible. It's impossible, man. Is a Hazard profile. Hell, no one's a Hazard profile, man. No one's a Hazard profile. No one. Not a single player. Not in today's game. No chance. You can try to be a Hazard and be that profile. I mean, I hear it when you if you dumb it down as much as you can, then you might get Kvaratskhelia. I would love to see another Hazard in this world. I would love to see that. We had the opportunity to get him, but obviously he went to Chelsea instead when he won the Champions League. But I don't think no one's close to even getting him. You off? Nah. I've got another couple. Oh no, but you off? Off of rents? Yeah. Yeah, true. I can't wait till he joins Liverpool. You lot are just. You know what? Let me ask you if you're a Liverpool fan, Nave, right? No, my channel. Are you lot willing to be hurt again? Like, do you really want to go down this? Do you really want to go down this lane? No, on a level, do you lot really want to do it? Because see, yesterday there's about 3 clips from months. I'm yet to clip it up. The start of the show, the middle of the show, and pretty much near the end. That smirk of his is getting wiped the F off. Just saying. You've been rejected time after time by top players. Yeah. By the way, of recent history. Caicedo, Bellingham, Lavia, Chouameni. The list goes on and on and on. Just say it, innit? You lot are doing well at the moment, though. You got Gravenberch and all them lot. They're doing well at the moment, though. Them man can't chat in the window. But the difference is they have got Michael Edwards. That's the difference. That is the big difference. And I do believe his planning successions and all that kind of stuff is you can't. I don't think another maybe Tiki comes close to that from Man City, maybe. Not recently, but you know, look what they're doing now. You know, Omar Mamush, looking at Douglas Luiz Edison. They know, bro, the guy knows what he's doing. He's been there for so long as well. Even I'm pretty sure he came just before Pep. So he planned came before Pellegrini. So the whole thing about Pep and rebuilds is a load of bullshit because Pep's not the guy who does the rebuild. It's the director of football and the sporting directors and so forth. Tiki has made about 4 or 5 different, I think about 4 different Manchester City teams, all one. So, you know, we need to see what INEOS are about. Because Omar Barada, you know, you got Wilcox, a part of the old, obviously, they're part of Man City, that regime. They all got higher roles, by the way. So it's new roles for them as well. And other pieces of the chessboard to see what they can do. United's whole, like, can you build a squad? Mate, need to build an army at this rate, man. Big crap. But anyways, I'm not even here to say that about United. What else you lot saying? Mont's got that chicken connoisseur. Oh my God, he kind of looks like him, you know. He kind of looks like him. Yes, it is. I wonder if I'm going to ask him if they're related by any chance. They're both from North London as well, I swear. So I'm pretty sure he's from North. We all know they bought Doku for Pep, and Pep didn't even know him. Yeah. We all know that as well. Oh, he's slimmer older brother. I hear it. I mean, technically, would he be Monster's age now? I'm pretty sure he's like about nearly 30. But anyways, not even about him. Make sure you smash the likes. I'm going so off target anyways. Smash the likes. How many likes are we on? We are on 47 likes. That sucks. You lot are meant to be my clients. If I've got a clientele base and they're not even respecting me, you know what I mean? That's insane. My own clients don't respect me. I'm gonna have no clients by the end of the day. Oh, sorry about that. Leif Davies, I hope he's an option. I hope he's an option. Because if you're telling me that United could do, you know what it is? It reminds me of Liverpool, by the way. You know when Liverpool decided to get, I'm pretty sure Newcastle got relegated and they got Wijnaldum. Hull City got relegated and they got Robertson. I'm hoping with United, if Ipswich get relegated, I do want them to stay up, to be fair, but I know they wouldn't charge extortionate prices. Leif Davies is actually, for me, is better. It would be a great wing back. You know, the guy's like 6'1.5", 6'1", something along those lines. Anyway, he's like 183 centimeters. So the height thing doesn't bother me. He's athletic. You know, he's got a good injury record as well. He's clean on that notice. And on the other hand, and he's a good age as well. I believe he's like 25, right? And then on the other hand, United look at Tyler Dibbling. Southampton are 100% getting relegated this year. For me, you've just saw that 2 of your wing back situations and I don't think it's going to be that expensive. And obviously he hits that, you know, that British mold and yada. I just want to know what other options there are because I don't think Kirkes is that much better than Leif Davies. If that makes sense for me. Like I don't think it really is. But yeah, for me, Amorim's dream signing is literally, it's definitely Kvaratskhelia, man. Who better in football? When we talk about this left 10, right? I think we're talking about something very particular. Very particular. Like you've got the Ahmad type of player. Don't get me wrong. Low center of gravity, very good. He's very hard to tackle. Get him off the ball and whatnot. But we'll talk about Amorim's 2 types of 10s, right? That he used to have. You know, someone's a bit more direct, a bit more of like a winger, and the other one, you know, a bit more like a traditional like number 10 and whatnot. I think lucky for us, we got a profile in Ahmad that can do a bit of everything, right? Can play on the wing, can play in the 10. He's suited to it. He could even play in centre mid if you wanted to. But on the other hand, we always talk about raising the physicality of the team. The physicality of the team sucks arse and cheeks at the moment, right? And you want to raise that bar. You need someone that's going to be direct and powerful, more powerful runner than Ahmad. And obviously, we all talk about Cunha, Omar Mamush if possible. But look, he's got in Manchester City. That's done. That's done. They're asking for a high fee for him, by the way, as well. They're like set, what is it, like 68, 70 million, whatever. But that don't bother. That's not for us to worry about. I can't think of another player that kind of fits that mold realistically. I mean, you can go and get Angel Gomez in the summer. You're on the right side. You get another Ahmad type profile. I hear it. More of a traditional 10, but you can also play left wing if that. So you got that for the other side if need be. They can play football together. But in terms of physical profiles, you probably don't look further than Kvaratskhelia anyways, who's probably at the top of that kind of category. I think Cunha's wicked, but Kvaratskhelia's done it in the Euros. He's done it in the Champions League. He's doing it in Serie A and whatnot. You know what I mean? He's available all the time as well. And he is a dream. And the fact that he's going for so cheap as well. I don't know how, if you're a United fan, you just think like, how did we get here? How did we get here? We've wasted money on such crap over the years. How did we get here to lose such an opportunity in a free run? Because I reckon if it was PSG versus us anyways, I reckon we would beat them. Do you know what I mean? Not a 13th, but if you... No, thank you. We could sell him a project. Like, don't get me wrong. We're the Premier League. That's League One. I think you'd be more tempted by the Premier League, in my opinion. Yeah, PSG swimming money, don't get me wrong. But it's not the Premier League. It's still PSG. So it depends where your ambitions lie. I just feel like this guy is, if you like, obviously we go back to the past and do a lot of if buts and maybes, but he just reminds me of such like a Man United player, man. But we can't even get him. We have to. We're linked with Mbermo, and don't get me wrong, Mbermo's wicked, and I don't even know why we're linked with Mbermo. It's a great link, but we don't play with wingers, and I don't look at Mbermo as a player that plays as an inside 10. Can he do it though? I mean, if there's a plan, great, but you know, Arsenal also chasing him at the moment, and we'll talk about that on Never a Foul. But that's what we've gone from. We've gone from Kvaratskhelia to Mbermo. Mbermo's wicked, but he's not Kvaratskhelia. He's nowhere near. And that's the frustrations. And then now I've got to think about loan with obligations. Oh, let me see this. I saw this who's this? I've never heard of this one, but Arsenal made contact with United about a potential deal for Marcus Rashford, valuing him at 21 million. No chance. Alex Bainer from Villarreal in the 10 would be cheaper and as good Cass. Potentially, I don't know nothing about that. I don't watch Villarreal. I'm not one of those guys that come on YouTube and say that I watch X, Y, and Z. You know the ones that you go on, it's like, yeah, I watched them. They watched probably once. And he had a decent game. Yeah, 80 million euros. But you got to think that's cheap. That's cheap. In January. You got to think in January, everyone's price goes up by 10, 15 million. So that player that's worth 50 is worth 65 now. That player that's worth 55, you do the maths. Do you know what I mean? It's cheap. 80 million euros. 68 million quid. For a player like that. I'm actually kind of surprised Man City haven't gone for him. Because I thought, like, you got Omar Mamush and a Kvaratskhelia. They've already got that, the King Clancy kind of link. I thought he might go there. You know what I mean? And obviously, yeah, I thought he might have went there, but obviously not. Mr. Joshy, big up Kaz. I subscribed as I saw your link on the channel. My name is Mr. Joshy. The way you say, oh, Jesse. Is that how you say it, Jesse? Your name Jesse J? Or Joshy J? Joshy J, yeah? That way. It's cheap, but ADL will scam you for 10 million extra. Who's ADL? What's the ADL? How do you lot feel in the comments as well, by the way? Let me get your opinions in. I might do a bit of a longer live than I usually do, but my opinion, Cass, with this downfall rebuild thing, just go and buy a player from Premier League or within the country. Excuse me. This big name is kind of too much known. Again, I think that kind of goes back to our PTSD in it with the names. But it doesn't mean a big name can't exactly like thrive. I don't look at one of like, don't get me wrong. I just feel like he's one of those names where it's just, it's tailor made for any club he goes to. I think he's going to thrive regardless. But I agree. The issue with United is over the years is that we've gone for such names. We've gone for these project players from other leagues. We just don't have enough Premier League proven quality. So that's why I say when it does come to this left 10 kind of role, I'm always more looking towards the Cunha because he's already Premier League quality. He's actually played for Atletico Madrid and done really well for them. He just didn't get the goals. Now he's got a bit more of a different position. I feel like if you're going to go anywhere, why wouldn't it be United? You know, the jump up from Wolves to United, it's like, even if it's Champions League football and show, there's a role for you there. There's a starting position. And I think that's it. Like, the way he plays at Wolves is quite similar, especially because he played in like the 3-4-3s kind of a lot. He already knows what kind of work you have to put in. You know, he already knows what kind of, like in that left 10, whereas, or even up front, sometimes the 3-5-2, where it's Strand Larson, Hwangi Channers. He just gets it. I just don't think there's a better option. And if United don't have him as priority number one in the summer, again, it's a bit, for me, it's a little bit of a howler. United do need Prem proven quality. And even when we talk about centre backs, bringing a centre back from outside leagues is it can be a little bit risky. Don't get me wrong, unless you do your scouting properly. Go get yourself an Eastern European. Trust me, he's gonna bang. But how many of those are available? I don't know. French league might be good, but then again, Disaster, Badiashile, they look crap. They look like they're gonna get sold. But then you look at, this is probably why United want Branthwaite, because they know a certain amount of like confidence you're going to get week in, week out from a Branthwaite, especially in a back three. I feel like for me, Branthwaite's showcase went through the door when Ahmad pressed the shit out of him and gone and scored. He's a little bit clunky for me. Actually, you know what? He kind of reminds me of more of a stiff version of De Ligt. But he raises that profile saying, yeah, but he can do it in the Prem. And if you look elsewhere, you're not going to get anything else. He's English, yada, yada, yada. All that tax. I would personally not want to, big up Hooks for the raid, by the way. I just see that. Big up yourself. Personally, for me, if I'm going to go I'm looking at Schlotterbeck. I think Schlotterbeck is the most ideal left centre back in the back three. Fast, can ping the ball, not stiff. Wouldn't say he's a back four defender. You know, he's probably more suited to like left back, left centre back, that area. Schlotterbeck is insane profile, and that's a great profile. Love that guy. I mean, like if he went Liverpool again, I'll be very annoyed. But I got my reservations about these back three centre backs that can play in the back four, maybe. So yeah, I'm tired of clunky. I see this, by the way. He's not wrong, Fraser. He came out yesterday. Daps told me, I can't remember his name. He came out and they were saying Man City chasing Douglas Luiz. Again, opportunities. Who is it? Yeah, Tomlin. If anyone knows, is that it? Tomlin, right? Yeah. What's his name? Is his name Tomlin? Is it Tomlin? Are you lot? Tommy. There you go. Tommy is the biggest tier one source, more than Sam Lee for the Athletic, mate, for Man City. How about that? He's got the source before the source. And we're talking up. And again, if he's a target, why wouldn't he not want to return to somewhere like to Man City? We're talking about opportunities, right? Yeah, and obviously we talk about Bruno Gomes potentially going to Man City, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere anytime soon, or not in a rush. But maybe in the summer. If we're talking about someone that can play the Bruno Gomes role, 6, but he's not really a 6. He is a 6, can do it, but he's more of an 8. Then you're thinking of Douglas Luiz. He's already come through. I'm pretty sure Douglas Luiz was a product of Manchester City. Why not go back there? They've got a Manchester City women's team. They're dope. It makes sense. Same thing United. If United don't hurry up and get this Casemiro sell through, we're going to miss this opportunity. So while they're too busy fixated on doing the Omar Marmoush deal, this is what I mean. I'm hoping United are doing groundwork. We're moving slow. Because I don't think there's another centre mid that can be acquirable, that we need, that can be acquired, other than him. I don't know anyone. You're not going to use that whole 25 million straight cash from Saudi. If it is 25, it could be 20 straight on Edison this January. If you do, amazing, but you've just wasted all that money, in my opinion. Douglas Luiz would be perfect for United. He doesn't get any minutes at Juve. He would be. And I can't keep stressing enough how much he would be a great partner for Ugarte, or even if Ugarte isn't there, he's there. Because as soon as you take Ugarte out of this team, and I know we've written off this season, right? As soon as you take him out, there's a massive hole of energy that's missing. And you know what? With Douglas Luiz, when he was next to Kamara, look how much energy was in the middle of that field and how much quality there was. You know, he got a lot. Don't get me wrong, he got a lot of penalty goals as well. I understand that. So if you do look at his record, it's about 6 or 7 penalty goals in that one season. But he's just a threat. He's got the long shot. He's got the set pieces. Again, yeah, yeah. It is. I think it is a bit of a cheat code. It is. It's just a good It's a good combination, especially in today's game as well. You like. It's not always the individual quality part has downgraded significantly, right? But then you look at partnerships. What can work? What's balanced? That's really balanced. Edison won't move till the summer. His team is in close title race with Napoli. But the thing is with digital is everyone has a price. See, one thing I do know with Atlanta is if you move early enough, and there's evidence because of the summer as well. I think as well with Coop Miners that why Niddy completely didn't even go through in the end because they were taking too long. As long as they have enough time to replace the player, they will sell him as long as the price valuation is met. You can't. Atlanta, when it comes to prices, are very hard to haggle, by the way. So it's one of those where you got to be quite precise with it. But remember, his price was 50 million. If you ship them 65 million for an Italian club, by the way, it might be too hard to turn down. And I'm pretty sure they got replacements all in like ready to go just in case. But do you know what I mean? That like other borders have left Atalanta and they've still recovered quite well. Their system that Gasparini's got going on is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Cass, did you see Ornstein say that we are good with PSR this window? Yeah, but everyone that's not unknown knowledge. I didn't see him say that, by the way. Let me check that now. That's not because the PSR has rolled over for everyone for the next the next quarter period. So that's a good 3 years. Is it 3 years or is it 4 years or whatever the third or wherever it is? So everyone's been rolled over PSR. You can't always fall for this PR stuff. It's just that United would rather use funds rather than their own funds so we can get debts down and all that kind of stuff, yada, yada, yada. They'd rather use what's available from players leaving to use for players because we've been spending on so much crap and we're like 300 million in transfer debt. Insanity. So it's rolled over. Keep smashing the likes, people, by the way. What are we on? We're on 82 likes. Big up to yourself. Big up to the clients. You know, if you're a client, then you like this and I'll produce a service for my client, man. And I'll try to do, you know what, let me run a poll. There you go. You can either vote yes or no. If you voted no, then you just you're a hater. I saw that. I don't know who this is though. It sounds like another Italian source. Like it's like they're trying to, I don't know, like this life feed into the Milan media to get a move on maybe or to get them worried. You know what they say, like just driving a little bit of misery amongst the fans or something like that. Yeah, you lot are my clients. My clientele. They replaced Ars Asmus with Lookman. We gave them a lot of money, you know. Gave them a lot of money. I think they even signed Skamaka back with that money as well. And he was doing well for them. What is you lot's dream window? RSV says my dream window is Edison, Kirkes, Kavicha, Inacio, Yokeres. Flipping, you're talking a lot of money, man. 70 million, 65 million there. Inacio will be worth about, I'm pretty sure he's worth about 60 again now. Edison's going to be worth about 50 if we talk about the summer. Kirk has another 50. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of money for that. You need that 300 million plus window. Melissa Reddy. I don't know what to think with Sky Sports these days. See Sky Sports. They are falling off a cliff when it comes to sources. And that woman jars me as well. Her voice just does my head in. She got like the most, like, it's like if you pinch your nose and give yourself an accent, you've got Melissa Reddy. And she's just milking it. It's true. Most bland personality I've ever heard from Sky Sports. I'd rather hear that dude. Is his name Gary Cotter or something? The one that was pestering Ten Hag and then flipping Ruben Amorim to speak English in the interview. I'd rather listen to that prick. Yeah, they're awful. They got no sources. Anytime I see a source pop up and it says talk, like in brackets, talk sport, rubbish it off. Couldn't give a toss about them. Honestly, another piece of shit. Cass, when did you start supporting United? 25 years, me, Joshy J. Oh, you're a United fan. Oh, big up. I'm 28 now, so I got my first football when I was like 2 years old, but I got my first United shirt when I was like 4. I was about 4 when I got my first United shirt. It was the old sharp one. Oh, was it? Yeah, it was the old sharp one with the Umbro. Who's that? Alex Crook. Oh my God. He is the shittest journo along with Jamie Jackson going. Him and Jamie Jackson, honestly, they must shag each other because honestly, they write the same shit and it's just absolute shit. Let's keep it a buck, people. With this is what was said. This is what was said. It's not like the Wolves are collapsing on their financial situation. It's not great. Clearly, they got work to do, but I do think there's a bit of scope to do something. Yeah, that's the something. We all know that though. There's room to do something. It's just that United need to hurry up and go do it. That's the yeah, but I know South African people, right? I text some like well, I used to talk to a couple, and they got way more personality and more personal. Like they got way more personality in their voices and expressions and stuff like that. It's just hurt. It's not nothing against the accent in terms of South African accents. Are you mad? I don't find nothing wrong with it. It doesn't irritate me, but her voice irritates me. A bit like people from LA that like sound stuck up, that side of the world of America, LA, and they got the most squeaky voices going, irritates my head to a next level. I can't stand hearing it. Like, if there's any Man United, you know what I would love to say? There's quite a few of you in here. If there's any old boy Man United fans that are like live local to the ground, go, gate or they go game every time, pretty much every game day away games. I'd love to get them on the channel, by the way. So if you're like, if you've been going United for a long time, the old heads, or you know what? One accent I really like. I like the New York accent, like proper, and obviously the southern USA accent. Any of those lot, if you got any United old heads, would love to get you lot some of you lot on the channels. Because you know what it is for us? It's just like Lee Goddard was telling me as well. No, LA accent is tough. Nah. I don't mind the Canadian accent, don't mind the New York accent. I'm not gonna lie, anyone that's from the South America, I can listen to them all day. Just that side is just like, nah, not for me. Not for me, too much. Yeah, Boston accent's quite cool. I agree with that. There's a little something there. There's a little something there. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Jack. But for me, if there's any old heads United fans, I like listening to stories. I like listening to because I don't get the opportunity to go to games these days because I can't bear to watch that crap and spend a lot of money. But if anyone that's like home and away, love to get some of you lot on as well. So if anyone does come across there, wicked. Oh, I know what you're talking about there. I know what you're talking about. I hear what you're saying, but I just I hear what you're saying. What's this? It's not so binary and black and white that you can just say get players out to bring players in. The way it's been explained to me is that Man United are going to be okay on PSR this month. Sure. But with what? It's going to be okay, but is that with or without signings? Which one is it? Why aren't we signing Nayapan? I don't think he's a rush signing. He's probably going to be one that comes through the summer and probably gets loaned out, in my opinion. Yeah, I saw all of that, Fraser. Yeah. But Rashford, I've got the biggest feeling today that there's going to be an update on Rashford like there is every day. I think Rashford's exit is looming. It's just me and Rance were talking about it towards the end of his video, saying like the obligation, the price. even if it's just a loan with the option. I just don't feel like United can afford to go into the summer right now with an option. We need like gap for us, for me, my opinion, United need guaranteed money so we know what we can kind of spend this January. We can wait till the summer and get those targets there. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. But for me, if it like let's be honest with ourselves. AC Milan are not spending anything close to 40 million. They just don't do it. It's just not that sort of signing. But they have just got Okafor is literally, I believe he's going to Leipzig. So and they're making what's the fee around that? Like I swear I saw 21 million or 27 million euros, something like that. So they're getting a little bit of money there, right? And I feel like they're going to use that money and extra to go pay for Rashford. I would love to see it around 30 million. I got a feeling it's 25 because it's an Italian club. And I don't see it being anything more than what Sancho went for. Because I believe they would be looking at, okay, but you sold Sancho to a rival club for 25 million just so you get his wages up. Why should ours be any different to a player who's not got a higher ceiling than him and is pretty much a finished article of what you're going to get, right? If United can get 30 million, you're laughing. I think you take it and you run. If United can get anything more than that, it's a stretch for me. I don't think we get anything more than 30 million. Unless they really, really want this player. And I don't know how much they truly want it, but I feel like, Rashford be going over there with Tomori. I know you don't speak Italian, so this is why it makes sense. You got Pulisic as well. And then obviously you got, what's his name? Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He'll feel at home a little bit there. He's a fashion icon, likes to get involved with all that. His lifestyle pretty much suits Milan. So again, for me, I feel like I want him to. I think he does well there. Rance thinks he's shit and he's not going to do well. I think he does well there personally. I feel like when it comes to the Italian league, when it comes to like a profile like Rashford, I think he thrives. I want him to thrive. He needs to be in a place that suits him, and I do think he ends up getting back in the England team. Who knows? But only because Tuchel really likes him. But there are up and coming players that are better than Rashford at the moment that warrant starting positions, like Anthony Gordon. When it comes down to the World Cup and everything in the end, I expect Gordon to be 10 times the player. There's other left mids that are up and coming as well. United players sabotage the rebuild by acting the bollocks. Easy to sell if they're well-behaving professional, even if you're out of form. I agree. Let's get to 150 likes. What are we on? We're on 100 likes. Big up, big up, big up. What is INEOS going to do to Old Trafford? Surely you guys get an update soon, bro. I don't know. There's so much stuff around United. It's going to take a few years, period. With the team, with the stadium, with the everything. Training ground, you name it. Take your pick. But one thing I want to say to you lot that are watching, and hopefully a lot of you are United fans, is I can be a little bit mean at times, but I'm not going to be the one that starts dishing out the negative stuff, like consistently. Like, I like to feel, for me as a person, obviously everyone can be each to their own, but for me, I always feel like there's a positive in a negative no matter what. I can be frustrated with INEOS, but I don't think INEOS has done as much negative as they've done positive. The only thing is, what I don't, again, is a lot of what's highlighted with INEOS because it sells for clicks is the fact that it's going to have to be negative. Anything positive they've done has not been highlighted at all. And that's why you got to do your own deep dive searches of what they're doing and how they're managing. I just don't think another realistic buyout would have done much more. The only one that's going to be obviously the case was, Sheikh Jassim. And the thing is, what people need to understand as well at the same time is Sheikh Jassim could have came in and solved United's financial issues. But at the same time, there's no guarantee that he would have put footballing people, the correct ones, in the right places. Who knows what the structure could have been like? It could have turned into another Galactico situation where you're dishing out contracts. No one knows this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna it's not an ideal situation. Don't get me wrong, because there's so much to sort out. But if you're going to subscribe to this channel, don't feel like I'm going to come in and start effing and blinding to every single player that gets on my nerves. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna call Lissandro a little midget sometimes when he gets out jumped. But it's nothing that deep. Cash are going to be bought in 5 years. INEOS are only in this short term till value increases. But you say that, but Jack, right? But you're talking about how can you increase Man United's price when it's so crap at the moment and there's so much to build? How can you sell out on something if you need a brand new stadium that's not going to be built in time or anything? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm not going to act. I'm not going to be naive to what you just said there because it's just it could be a short term thing. Even if it is, I couldn't give a toss as long as it's in the right direction. It's just again 5 years, I don't think you're going to get much more of a return compared to something like 10 to 20 years, which is normal in any business. You grow it and then you sell it at the right time. In 20 years' time as well, or 15 years' time, we all know Ratcliffe is getting older. Who knows what happens after that once once life takes its course. He might still be about, God willing. But things will be different. Things will change. Regardless. I was still angry with the players putting up their best performance of the season against Liverpool. Where have you been all season? And you know what? That is, it's right to be mad with all that. Even at the end of the game, even for myself, I was pissed. I was pissed that we didn't get 3 points in that game. And then it makes you think, why now? But then again, we can be being pissed off with that is a good thing. It reminds us of the standard of us United fans that have seen the winning stuff. This is what Chelsea fans are all about as well, by the way. This is why I don't get onto Chelsea fans because they know what a standard is, right? And for me, it's like, where has it been? But it has to start somewhere. If you go to Arsenal and lose by a header, but you do well in performance, I don't have nothing wrong with that. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong. Losing to Arsenal, I'm pissed off all the time. I'm pissed off all the time when we lose to Arsenal. You know what I mean? If we get knocked out of the FA Cup, it's one less competition to focus on, and you can go and focus on the Prem. So it's less games. We don't have the squad, really, and let's be real, to go for the FA Cup, Europa League, and the Premier League without getting 5 different players in. But at the same time, you put in a performance against Arsenal, and I don't look at that as a detriment to what happened at Liverpool. I look at that Southampton game thinking, you better go hurt them. Midweek, you better go hurt them. I want to see 3-4-0 minimum. You done it last time at their gaff, do it again. And then on Sunday is the bigger game. I expect to beat Southampton because guess what? They're that bad. We couldn't be anything worse. I say that now, hold my breath. You got to go and beat Brighton. That's what means. That's the game I'm looking at, thinking if you go win those 2 games, then that Liverpool performance was not all for nothing. Not the Southampton game. I expect to beat them even if we're shit. Like, super shit. But it starts now. Like, Amorim, like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for Amorim. I love everything he says and whatnot. But at the same time, you've had 2 weeks now to have a lot of training sessions to get an idea together for understanding roles. We need to see it as well at the same time. We all know that these players they suck. They suck ass. And they can't deliver. But when you can put up a performance against the best team in the league, even though it is a derby, they say this and the other. If you go do that, it goes to show that these players can do it. Yeah, but it's all about the mentality. Like, Lissandro coming out and talking about the mind and all that. You know how shameless that is? The mind. It's all about the mind. Where was that before? So who the fuck's the leader? Because some people are calling for him to be the leader, by the way, the captain. So, and this is why I don't subscribe to everything everyone says in terms of toxic positivity. If you talk about the mind, where was yours? This is what makes me more angry or more frustrated is a better word about stuff like that. Bro, we can't go to Anfield and go to Emirates and lose in a lesser hostile atmosphere. I'm sorry, we have to be. I'm in agreement. For me, I'd look at this Arsenal thinking, there's blood. I smell blood. These players better smell blood. They travelled well. We've travelled away, whether it's Tottenham, and I know we clusterfucked that in certain situations, and we're down to our bare bones with players in that situation as well. Fair enough. But so were they. And so that is fair for each side. We came back. It shows me that these players are willing to play. They came back, nearly got it, then begin they fucked it, right? You go to Man City, you put in that performance. You're 1-0 down at that point. I'm pretty sure was we 1-0 down, and we come back to win 2-1, And then this Liverpool game, you know, Arsenal, we went there pretty much straight away after that Ipswich game. Put in a performance there, nullified them enough, but it was nothing going forward for us. There was nothing going. So yeah, man. Yeah, no, in the end, I agree, Tottenham. Like, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but in the end, we nearly came back. You were like 3-0 up. You were 3-0 up. And we nearly effed you up. We nearly made it embarrassing. You know what I mean? We nearly made it embarrassing. But then United happened. This corner stuff happened. Because United won't concede in open play, really. We concede all from stupid set pieces, more than less. But yeah. Ahmad is going to dunk on them. I can sense him breaking out this proper season. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I'm not going to act like Ahmad wasn't silent there last time, but I want to see a little something more this time. Yeah, I'm not scared of Arsenal. I don't think anyone should be. But anyways, people, make sure you smash the likes. Hopefully we get some more news. I'm going to drop a pre-upload later today at some point. And then I'm going to drop another one tonight with Lee Gunner after the football's finished. So watch out for that. Might even get live with him. I'd rather drop a pre-record though. This is going to go over to Never a Foul. You know, I forgot to do the timestamps again. It's so hard to do timestamps when you're talking to the audience by yourself. It is quite hard. I'm not going to lie, pause. But anyways, go over there. Just go rate it. I'm going to be live there in a sec. Big up to any new subscribers. Big up to anyone that wants to like the video, watching it back. Yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, man. Who's on NAF today? The typical Friday panel. You'll see it. It's on the thumbnail. Me, both these. My cousin, the Chelsea fan, Monts. I should wake up Monts, shouldn't I? In a bit. Kinski, good player, by the way. He looks like a good player. A good goalkeeper, anyways. So, in a bit. I'll be there in like 5 minutes.